have not yet been vaccinated. You know, some people said, I'm gonna wait. I want to wait and see how this all turns out, how everybody else is doing with it, right? So I'm gonna give it 6 months. It's July. It's time. It's time. So it is time, and it is time to roll up your sleeves and get the shot. And if you already have, find someone who hasn't and help them. And talk to them as we are having this conversation now. Born out of love, born out of concern, and born out of knowledge, again, that it will save lives. You know, a couple weeks ago, I was down in Atlanta at Ebenezer Baptist Church. And it was good to be back there. And the church, of course, you all know this is the church where Dr. King preached. Until the day he died. And today, it is a place of worship, but as most places of worship, also a place of healing. It is a vaccination site. Then and now, a place of healing. And when I was there, I talked with a bunch of folks, and in particular, I met with a bunch of folks who had just been vaccinated, and the healthcare workers who administered the vaccines. And I said then, what I will repeat today, I do believe that the act of getting vaccinated is the very essence of what the Bible tells us when it says, love thy neighbor. Right? Because what we know is, one can ask, well, who is one's neighbor? Is it the person who lives to my left, lives to my right? I know them, may borrow a cup of sugar, right? But what we know it means when we talk about love thy neighbor is that, yes, it may be the person next door, and it may be the man on the side of the road, and it may be a perfect stranger. And in the face of that stranger, you see a friend. That's
Anyway, let me pull this precept real quick. Shalom, shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. New is in the gospel of God, lift up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. It's Akia Mahalaya, come back with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will be edifying. Just basically going into this rhetoric that these devils are trying to spew on the people. Like the scriptures say, their words were smoother than butter, but war was in their hearts. For one thing, your neighbor is your fellow kinsman. It ain't got nothing to do with a next door neighbor, a down the street, a person, a bum on the side of the road. No, a neighbor, it just goes into brother. If you go into the Hebrew, it means like your brother, your fellow kinsman of your nation, predominantly the nation of Israel. But furthermore, to expound on that, it's really going into the people that's doing the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because what he said, those that keep the commandments and do the will of my Father is the same as my brother, my father, my sister, my brother, which is your neighbor. Okay? Not the nigga across the hall, okay? Because he's definitely not my neighbor. In fact, I'm about to put curses on him, man, because he gonna end up. Anyway, that's a different story. But anyway, no, it's not your neighbor as far as upstairs, downstairs, because your neighbor gonna be an Edomite. All right, it can be your neighbor can be a fucking murderer. All right, a pedophile. So they're using that to try to soften Jake up, because Jake gets real sensitive when it comes to the Bible. And you notice she said a Baptist church. Exactly, Baptist church is full of Jakes. Never really known too many Edomites to go to Baptist churches. That's pretty much Jake. And then she used that guy Martin Luther King, which was a known sellout for the Boule. So no, nice attempt, but no, that's gonna work on these people, but that's not gonna work on the hopeful elect. All right, I tried to do a search in there, but I can't find it in the Bible. Why can't I find it? Love thy neighbor. I can't seem to fight it. It's weird. can't find it. I know I spelled it right. That's another thing too I hate about these apps. Sometimes they glitch. But let me find it real quick. All right. That's weird. Let me do a Google search on it real quick. Because it's one particular one in the law that I was looking for. I was one it was one in the Bible. I mean, in the Old Testament, in Leviticus, but it didn't seem to come up. Yep, Leviticus 19. I figured it was either 19 or 18. So let's see something real quick, because you know that's that grease, that's that forked tongue that they use, you know, to try to push this madness, which the Lord is not with that. All right. So this is the book. Shit. Bear with me real quick, man. 19 and 9. We just need to glean. Eating hollow iniquity. The graveyard serve the poor stranger according to your field. Yep, this is it, right? I think this is it. Okay, here it is. Yep. So this is the book of Leviticus 19. And I'm going to start at verse 17. Now, this is in the law. This was given to Israelites. It says, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. Okay? That's talking about your fellow kinsmen of your nation. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, and thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor and suffer sin upon him. All right, and thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. Okay, so that's what Yahushua reiterated in the New Testament for all you Christians out there that try to say your neighbor can be your next door neighbor. No. We just broke it down. Okay, matter of fact, we gonna see what it says in the Hebrew. Okay, let's see what it says here. No, it's not it. I don't know what's up with me today, man. This shit is acting all weird. So we're going to get the definition. And it says here, a friend, companion, fellow citizen. Yep, it says another person, a fellow citizen, okay, meaning of your nation. It's not talking about what she's talking about, but they're using that to push that on Jake. Because let's go to Psalms, the 83rd chapter. This is Psalms 83. And I'm going to start at verses 1 and 2. It says, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult. It says, thy enemies has to make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, and they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur is also joined with them, and they have holpen the children of Lot. All right, so that's what that's coming from. This whole agenda, whatever they want to call, this is what they're using to push forth the draconian law to do away with the people. That's why they're going so hard with it. You know, like I was watching this Jake. It was this video here of this Jake I was watching, and I don't want to play it because he's not really so-called accredited. You know, he's not really a renowned name. So if I play his video, you know what I'm saying, they'll shut it. They'll take my video down. But basically it says, be ready. They going, you know what? And he got the prick there. You see? So he was basically saying, like, look, man, they ain't put nothing in me, X, Y, Z. You know, they finna go to war type. So Jake is getting ready to revolt against this system. Okay? So anyway, this is the book of Psalms. Where's the Psalms? Was that Psalms 55? And Salakia, I'm all over the place, man. I was trying to find that scripture. I was a little disoriented there, but Salakia, bear with me. This is the book of Psalms 50 and 20, 55 and 20 says, he put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him, and they have broken his covenant. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Okay, so it sounds good, you know, but it's really a detriment behind it, because they're basically trying to get you to bow down to idols. Okay, this is going back into the time of the Greeks, which the Greeks was the first beast of this system that was set up, because you got what they call the Greco-Roman Empire. The Greeks became the Romans, but they're basically trying to get you to sacrifice into Greek deities, Greek idols. You see, like they did back during the time of Antiochus. That's why I believe that this guy, Jim Crow Joe, may be Antiochus in a reincarnation. You know, that's up for debate, but that's just, you know, my opinion about it. All right, so this is the book of First Maccabees 1. And let's start if 16. It says, now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion over two realms. Okay, Ptolemy. It says, and therefore when he entered to Egypt with a great multitude of chariots and elephants and horsemen and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt, because Ptolemy had Israelites in captivity too. That's when the book of Sirach was written under this particular dynasty. You see, because you had those Jews of Alexandria, Egypt, which were Israelites that I believe they translated what they called the Septuagint into the 70 books in the Greek, which Septuagint just means 70. It says Ptolemy, king of Egypt, and Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were bound to death. It says, thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that, Antiochus has smitten Egypt, and returned again 140 and third year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with the great multitude. Okay, so this is what you're seeing as being played out. All right, it was to the point that if we circumcise our babies, they would hang our kids by the neck. They would hang us on gallows, so to speak. They would kill the women, they would kill the men if you were keeping your laws. And this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to etch the laws out of the Most High out of it. They're trying to etch it out of they trying to get that Israelite. They want us dead. They want us out of here. Okay, they don't want you to have nothing to do with your power. This is his last attempt to do away with our nation. This is why they're pushing so hard. This is why it's getting ready to be a big pushback, and this is why the Spirit is getting ready to intervene massively against what they're doing. Because if the Spirit does not intervene, they're gonna succeed, and they're gonna be successful with getting us all. They're gonna do away with us, and the Lord's gonna destroy us. That's why the Spirit is getting ready to intervene. It's gonna have to. Just who it intervenes for, yes, to be determined. But we know the elect is gonna be okay. But for the 2/3, they are gonna totally be over. They're gonna be overtaken by this kingdom. Okay, that's why, you know, even though it tells you in Daniel, it says the beast made war with them and overcame. You know, but overall, you know, we're gonna make it out okay. But the rest of our nation, they're gonna be completely overtaken by this beast. They're gonna threaten them. They're gonna threaten. They're gonna surround them. They're gonna do all whatever it means, whatever tactic. They're gonna use bully tactics. They're gonna try to press you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try to press you, and they're going to try to break you. They're going to try to break you, even if it means into your life. And they're going to threaten a lot. They're going to threaten us. That's the whole point. They're going to use the police officers, the military, because everybody knows the police force has a bad reputation when it comes to dealing with people of color. All right, they're going to use those bully tactics. You know, they're going to use the gun, put the knee on the neck. These niggas are getting ready to get jacked up out here. Deservingly so. But us, we going to be all right. Because, hey, the scriptures say, be faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So you got to be in the mindset, brothers, that you ain't got shit to lose, man. The Lord say, he who that loseth his life shall find it. You know, he who that try to save his life shall lose it. So you got to be willing to deal with the piper that comes with it. If they say, well, look, you know, we're going to kill you because you ain't dealing with our shit. And fuck it, man. They going to have to kill you. fuck it, man. You know, go out on a whim. Fuck it. It is what it is at this point. You just gotta have that mindset. You know, this ain't the time to be getting all timid and shit. You know, just do it. Cause I'm tired, man. I'm tired, man. I'm sick of this place. I'm sick of these people. I'm sick of these niggas. I'm sick of it all, bro. It's to the point I don't even want to deal with nobody. If you ain't in the truth, I ain't trying to deal with you. All right. But anyway, it says, and entered proudly into the sanctuary and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and the vessels thereof, and at the table of showbread and the pouring vessels and the vials and the censers of gold and vial and the crown and the golden ornaments that were poured before the temple, which also poured off. And you got to understand that in this time, Esau used jakes. Same thing he's doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, it's mainly jakes going around door to door. They using Israelites. Same thing when to get the sacrifices to a wicked power, they use certain high priests to do so. Even during the time of Yahweh Shai, who you have, you had Caiaphas, and then you had what was the other guy name? I forgot his name, but you had high priests that did the bidding of Esau, because the priests were impressionable among Israel because they knew the law, statutes, and commandments. So therefore, when it came time to atone and sacrifice, everybody would go to the high priest. So same thing in this day and age. I was looking at another video when they're talking about, man, we have to do so. We even got to get the entertainers involved, because we know that you jakes, you sacrifice to these entertainers on the left-hand side. That's your high priest. That's your wicked prophets of Baal on this side. Your wicked leaders and entertainers. And you're going to fall for it. Like this whole thing with Juvenile. A grown-ass man calling himself a juvenile. Talking about max that thing up. Man, yo, you out your goddamn fucking mind, man. And it says, and he have taken all away, and he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. So these people, they're not here to help. They're just not, man. They ain't here to help you. They ain't here because after they accomplish what they're going to accomplish, they're going to say, job well done. We've done our job. And to look at the verse effects of this, watch the movie I Am Legend. Matter of fact, Lord, as well, I watched that today. I Am Legend. Watch that. It says, therefore, there was a great mourning in Israel in every place were they, so that the princes and elders mourned, and the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. It says, every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. And the land was also moved at the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector. You see how they work? After he done took them down and destroyed us and killed our people, all of a sudden now he's gonna come back. He's gonna send his bullshit to us like he's here to help. It says his chief collector of tribute into the cities of Judah. Sounds familiar. Who came into Jerusalem with a great multitude, meaning it was an army of them. It says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but was all deceit. It says, when they had given him cretins, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. So this is all playing out again. Okay, what you seeing as happening, we've been hearing the same shit in the news media for over a fucking year. Ever since last March. It's been the same thing every single day. That's how you know that they're getting ready to make their move. They're totally getting the minds of the people. But then you still got people out there that's pushing back. People are not going for it, so they know there's going to be casualties. You know what I'm saying? When they're talking, they say, look, when talking don't start, if that don't help or solve a problem, then, adversity and other means will. So the talking ain't working for most people. They're already creating a division. Like I was looking at how they mandated the mask back in Cali. One lady like, well, I don't think it's fair that I should have to wear that, and I've been such and such. See how they playing you? That was the plan the whole time. Even if everybody did, they got the immunity rating. Even if everybody did decide to go down there and get it, they still was going to pull a fast one on. They was going to still say, well, you know, you got to do this and that. You got to come back and get a fifth one. All this other stuff. They was going to keep pushing it on you. You dummies was the ones that decided to go out there and put your lives on the line because of what the hell they told you on TV. Now they're creating a division between the people that have the have and the have-nots. I say that, you know. It says, and when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and poured down the houses and the walls on every side. But the women and children they took captive and possessed the cattle. All right, so you see what I'm saying? You see what it's coming to? Let's go down here. Verses 41, it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote into his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented into his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers into Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and should pollute the sanctuary of the holy people, and set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrificing swine's flesh and unclean beasts. And they shall also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they may forget the law and change all the ordinance. And whosoever will not do according to the king commandment of the king, he said, he shall die. See, that's the whole point. They're gonna attack the temple again, but this time we are the temple. All right, they've already destroyed the temples. They didn't the physical temples. They went in, they didn't stole, they didn't pollute it, sacrifice swine's flesh on the altar. All these things happened. And then they had wicked jakes that was involved in it too. But now, only temple we have is this body of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in Israel. And they're coming after that temple now to defile it. That's what this is all about. It says, and in the same self manner, wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. So they coming, brothers, man. It just say you're gonna be in the spirit to deal with it or not, but they coming. And with that, all praises and glory, honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And with that, shalom and a ball.